Hey friends, all right, I thought I would make a little video for you guys. I'm going to teach you a new technique. So if you've ever puttered around on astro.com, go to their extended chart selection page. I want you to click on that drop down menu where you look at charts, types of charts. I don't know what it's called, but you know what I'm saying. Click on that, go down to the bottom and click on persona charts. We're going to talk about the moon persona chart and how it might help you understand your moon on a deeper level. Now, persona charts, I'm going to do a little series of videos where we go through, today we're going to do the moon, and we'll just kind of move through them in order. So we'll do Mercury next. I have 4 celebrities here. I tried screen recording this. In fact, I just recorded 30 minutes of me talking at my computer, and it was my first time using like the screen capture, the video thing that Apple has. And I didn't think to test it first, and it doesn't record your voice. It doesn't record audio. So just in case this happens to you, just so you know. Okay, so what you're going to do is I've got pulled up here 4 celebrity charts. I have Blake Lively. I've also got Beyonce, Donald Trump, and Jake Gyllenhaal. So you can go to astro.com. They have a thing called the Astro Data Bank. Click on it. It's got all these celebrities, famous people, you know, scientists, authors, artists, etc., politicians. Lots of people famous, a lot of famous individuals. Even has like serial murders and like creepy stuff. But the birth info, you have the Rodden rating. So you know, is this from birth certificate? Is this from a book that someone wrote, an autobiography or a biography? That kind of thing. So you know if you can trust it or not. Now, I just had these saved in my personal database of charts. So I don't remember what the Rodden rating is on these 4 individuals. Okay. Other than Trump, I know his is, you know, A. We have the chart, you know, his birth certificate rather. Now, when you're pulling up a persona chart, what a persona chart is just a chart cast for the day following this individual's birth, where when the sun moved the same exact degree and sign as, in this case, the moon in the birth chart. So if it was a Mercury persona chart, it would be the day the sun moved and hit that degree of Mercury, Venus, so on and so forth. Okay, so it's an actual day. It's a moment like Blake Lively's. Her moon persona chart was September 5th, 1987. So just like right after, it was like a month after she was born. Not even that. It's like a week. So pull these up for these 4 celebrities and then come back. So pause here, pull them up, and then we're going to play with them. It's so fascinating. Okay, so now that you've pulled them up. Let's talk first about Blake Lively. So I've got her chart pulled up right here. Look at where the sun lands via house first. If you can look at nothing else, if you just want to look really quickly, go through your chart, look at your moon persona, your Mercury, just pay attention to the house the sun falls in. And also pay attention to aspects being made to the sun. So she's got her sun in the 7th house, and she's a moon in Virgo. So the sun is in Virgo. Mars is on one side, Venus is on the other. When you have a 7th house emphasis, you've got a person, and also in Virgo. Both of these are Western, they're on the Western side of the chart. These both have to do with our relationship to other people. The Virgo archetype has to do with when we're younger and we're developing our sense of identity and self. There's an element of comparison with Virgo. Squares Gemini, right? So like comparing ourselves to our siblings, comparing ourselves to other people, other kids that we know, that we grew up with. It's when we develop an understanding that we're different from others, that we're in a 3-dimensional world, there are flaws, and then that we have them. And so with Virgo can come, there's a humility that can come with it. We can feel sorry for ourselves, or maybe we can be someone who's humble and who's willing to work really hard, because we're good at taking creative criticism, and we'll work really hard at overcoming the things that we see as flaws. Okay, so knowing that about her and seeing that we've got her, this son of hers in the 7th, we have someone who's probably fairly ladylike, polite, probably quite professional at work, somebody who cares a lot about other people's input. And her Venus in the 7th might also be her having experienced a lot of people, because she's beautiful, from the time she was young, probably being told that she's beautiful, she's perfect, she's probably a bit of a perfectionist. I wouldn't be surprised if she's had eating disorders, because it's as though her identity, her sense of emotional security, so remember, bring it back to the birth chart, the sense of emotional security comes from her feeling like she's good enough in her relationships with other people. And if we talk about this from a professional perspective, she's going to be someone who shows up knowing her lines, she'll be on time, she's going to be someone who works really hard. And the other thing you want to notice is her Jupiter. It's just something that you can go through every planet and look at, this chart through that lens of emotional security, what Blake needs to feel safe. Jupiter in the second retrograde says she is someone who has a personal value system that ties to belief. So she has personal beliefs that she holds, and that she even can maybe even get a little bit stuck sometimes trying to, she likes to be the one who decides for herself what the truth is. And as you'll notice, because it's retrograde, there's kind of a quality, I think, earlier in her life, because we also have an in conjunction to her Mercury, that she took on maybe roles, maybe relationships. She made decisions that went against her own inner kind of voice. And I think she's already learned lessons that have to do with self-betrayal. And my hair's driving me nuts today. And with not taking on a role just because it's available, but believing in yourself and holding on to that belief. Okay, retrograde planets, we always start out kind of using them wonky and backwards. And then at some point in life, we'll have a time where we figure out how to use it the right way. Okay, while I fix my hair. So then, now look at, of course, we have this big, huge square, right? Sagittarius up in the 10th, squaring all of her Virgo that's there in the 7th. And her moon in Aquarius is kind of over there in the 12th. That in and of itself tells us we have someone who's probably very compassionate, cares a lot about people that are even total strangers. I don't think I've even fixed my hair situation. Moon's in Aries, right? What are we going to do? But she probably cares a lot about humanity, the whales, probably a bit of an environmentalist. Wouldn't be surprised if she's big into the way she eats, probably into yoga and all that. Whenever you see strong Virgo and Aquarius, it's someone who is constantly striving to find feels like almost to find their center, to feel good. Virgo has a lot of anxiety with it. So remember, if this is her moon, the way she feels better when she feels anxious is through her relationships. So those are going to be really important. She likes to take care of people, serve the people she loves. She might at times, especially in her past, she may have had partners that were, not very appreciative of her efforts. And I'm wondering about her relationship. I don't know anything about the family she grew up in, but Saturn up in the 12th in Sagittarius feels like this is the father, or the father, kind of the part of us that asks, am I good enough? Do I measure up? And when it's up, in Jupiter, in Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, in her 10th, she has a lot of ambition and drive, but also fears of failure. But it's being ruled by her Jupiter in the 2nd. So to me, this says, also Jupiter in the 2nd can indicate you can make a lot of money off of maybe tapping into. And she taps into her intuition and her sense, her true feeling, I'm going to pass over that job. I don't know why, but I just feel like it doesn't fit me. It's not on my journey. But take this job that pays less, or that's, a small film, but it's more fulfilling for me. That's the stuff that I think where she's moving to. This square between all of Virgo and all of Sag, to me, feels like someone who has big dreams and visions for themselves. And at the same time, they're willing to work really hard, and they're willing to take constructive criticism to improve the parts of themselves that are not, need to be improved. The ruler of all of her Virgo, I use Chiron as the ruler, is down in Gemini in the 4th. So from her childhood, from her family, Chiron in the 4th can be there's a bit of an insecurity or a wound when it comes to being good enough. So again, perfectionism is probably a big theme for her, and probably has been her whole life, but she's also probably been praised when she's dieted, or when she's made herself appear beautiful in other people's eyes. Yeah. But with this square as well, she's probably been very pigeonholed. The blonde Virgo is the maiden. It's like the woman that is the projection vessel as well for men. where her identity, her beauty, her physical body, even her relationship to her body, and Mercury, her Mercury that's at the end of Virgo, I'm sure initially her experience in Hollywood, her experience with celebrity had a lot to do with how she looked, but then also not wanting to be judged for that. So I think she'll be taking on more roles probably that are not so glamorous, but are telling more of a story that she feels like she needs to tell, the documentary style stuff. Maybe she's got an interest perhaps in, well, I'm not going to go into forecasting for her. Okay, let's look at Beyonce. Okay, Beyonce. Uh-oh, my camera's getting weird. Hello? Okay. Oh, it's still pausing. Okay, I'm going to stop right here, and then I'm going to record. We'll have a part 2.